Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Dr. Arnold Nerenberg. I've been a clinical psychologist for over 45 years. I'm 78 years of age. And it's my privilege and my pleasure to bring to you a very important topic, one that I hope will have a very lasting and hopefully a lifelong impact on you and on your loved ones. The title of today's presentation is, Are You an Angry Driver Bully? Are you an angry driver bully? We're going to talk about what is an angry driver. We're going to look at what the causes of that are. We're going to talk about what is a bully, and then we'll look at the cures. It's going to be a total comprehensive package to help you. You've all seen angry drivers. In fact, we know that over half of you are angry drivers, and it doesn't matter whether you're psychologists, police officers, clergy, ministers, rabbis, priests, mullahs. Over half of you have an angry driver problem. But by an angry driving problem, I mean you show angry driving to other drivers at least 2 or more times per year, at least 2 or more times a year. And by angry driving, I mean obscene gestures, beeping your horn because you're angry, not to just horn because you're angry, or you're tailgating at a retaliation, or you're cutting somebody off not just to get to where you're going because it's retaliation for what they did to you, throwing something at them. That's all angry driving. So angry driving is different than road annoyance, where you're mumbling to yourself, maybe you're cursing yourself about somebody, but you're not expressing it to the other driver. You're not demonstrating it to the other driver. Now, road rage is felonious angry driving. You're so angry that somebody rams the car with another driver, or they stalk the person and assault them, or shoot at them, or brandish a weapon. That's felonious angry driving. And some portion of you are road rage bullies, more than just angry driving bullies, but road rage bullies. Now, aggressive driving includes, it's the broadest category, includes angry driving, includes road rage, but also includes ones where there's no anger involved, like speeding. You're just speeding to get somewhere, so that would be an aggressive driving. So we're going to be focusing on a very important type, a very virulent type of aggressive driving, and of aggressive driving of what I call angry driving. So we interviewed over 1,500 people. We found that over 53% of Americans have an angry driving problem. And whenever I would give seminars, I would say, the 3 things I can tell you about this seminar. 1, over half of you have an angry driving problem. And I presented to military, I presented to an auditorium filled with judges. No matter who I present to, I say, over half of you have an angry driving problem. And you're going to laugh a lot when I make my presentation, not because I'm so funny, you're just going to hear each other's stories and you're going to think it's funny. And then the other thing I guarantee is going to happen, every one of you is going to make a commitment to overcome this problem by the time I'm finished. Now, one problem with angry driving and road rage, and it's a huge problem, angry drivers do not consider it to be a problem. They're flipping people off, screaming at them, throwing something at them, tailgating them to retaliate, slamming on their brakes because somebody's tailgating them. They don't consider it a problem. No, you cannot get somebody to say, I want to overcome this thing, based on saying you've got a problem. They say, I don't have a problem. Doc, the problem are those idiots. If he wasn't cutting me off or tailgating me and doing these stupid things, I wouldn't be getting angry. Do something about them. Don't make me the problem. They're the problem. I guarantee you, and many of you listening, half of you listening, have that attitude. Half of you have that attitude. Absolutely, I know it. I'm called America's road rage therapist. I testified before Congress. I've been on almost every major show there is. In fact, Bill Maher, when he had Politically Incorrect, introduced me as America's road rage therapist. And that's the term that the public coined for me, the public media coined for me, America's road rage therapist. So, are you an angry driver bully? Are you a bully on the road? And over half of you are. Absolutely. Male or female. You can meet some of the sweetest old ladies, and they'll raise their hand and say, yeah, they get angry driving, and they flip people off on the road. And when I have people tell their stories, but believe me, everyone's laughing. What, that sweet old lady? Yeah, yeah. And Walt Disney captured in 1951, he had Goofy, who was a model citizen, but he became demonic behind the wheel when he'd be driving, cutting people off, screaming at them, doing all kinds of things out of anger. So there are really 7 see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to talk about 6 types of angry driving. 6 types of angry drivers, and I have a whole battery of tests to measure each type. Now, the main variable that will determine whether somebody's an angry driving is not socioeconomics. You have rich people, poor people, doesn't make a difference. You can have somebody driving a Mercedes or somebody driving a beat-up old Ford, doesn't matter. The main variable we found associated with whether somebody's at risk of becoming an angry driver is parenting. No surprise. If your parents were an angry driver, one or both of them angry drivers, you're at risk for being that. If you're an angry driver, your children or your nieces and nephews, anybody that's traveling with you, any children traveling with you, are more likely to be that way. So, the child sees when you want to make a right turn, you're turning the right signal, you want to go left, you're going left turn. And when someone cuts you off, you go beside them and flip them off. That's considered normal. A parented angry driver is very a common cause. We have a test for that. So we have 12 questions on the test. The first question is, I saw my father or mother figure show anger to other drivers on the road. And they go from 0 to 5. And the last question is, number 12, as a child, I witnessed one or both of my parents' figures ram another car with our car. That's the most extreme form. And then there's everything in between. Now the next one, so a parented angry driver, mostly are going to be bullies, but I'll tell you one case that's not. Now you have a tailgating angry driver. So if somebody tailgates you, when people feel endangered through being cut off or tailgated, that's what people get most angry. If you put me at risk, you put my children at risk, my wife at risk, they get really angry. So the question number 1 on the tailgate angry driving profile is, when people tailgate me, I get out of their way and let them pass and tailgate them. So that's that's pretty common. And then number 9, there's 9 in this, when people tailgate me, I slam on my brakes to teach them a lesson. That's the most extreme form of tailgated angry driving profile. So the third type is a cut-off angry driver. A cut-off angry driver. So someone cuts you off, you feel endangered, and typically you're going to take that personally. You felt disrespected, you're taking it personally. That's someone did it to me. It's not like he's in a rush to just get somewhere. He meant no harm. No. He did it to me, and I'm going to teach that son of a gun a lesson, that idiot. I'm going to go get him, and you go after him, you flip off, you beep your horn. Well, that's being a bully. That's being a bully. You know, someone's tailgating you and slam on your brakes to teach them a lesson. That's being a bully. Or somebody's tailgating you and you slow down, let him pass, and then you tailgate him. That's being a bully. He's passing you, you're beeping your horn and screaming and making obscenities. That's being a bully. You're a bully if you're doing that. Absolutely, you're a bully. So the cutoff angry driver. So number 1 would be on the test, I get angry when someone cuts me off while driving, and they rate that from 0 to 5. And then number 10, when people cut me off, I may speed up and pull alongside of them and throw something. That'll be number 10 on there. You rate it from 0 to 5. Now we give people scores and tell them whether you have this angry driving profile or not. So if you have a cut-off angry driving profile, you're a bully. Someone cut you off and you go after them, that makes you a bully because you're retaliating. They probably didn't do it out of anger. You are. So that makes you a bully. You're trying to intimidate that person. So parking space angry driving profile. So you're waiting for a car to pull out, and then someone else zips right in there, and then you start doing something. You scream at the person, or you key the car, you smash the car, you break their windows, any of that. That's being a bully, or you start screaming at that person, or you're going to road rage and you assault the person with taking your parking spot. And you know, around Christmas time, the time of goodwill to your fellow man and love and goodwill, well, you want to go shopping, you're stressed out about it, someone you were waiting for this guy to pull out, he pulls out, and someone zips right in there, and there are altercations that happen. So number 1 would be on this scale, the parking space angry driving profile. I get angry when I'm waiting for cars to pull out of a parking space, and as soon as they do, someone else rushes in before me and takes it. So you rate that from 0 to 5. Number 5, when they do that, I will go over to them and punch them. Now you're talking about road rage, felonious angry driving. So if you're getting angry at the person, I'm not talking about road annoyance where you mutter to yourself and you curse under your breath. I'm talking about where you're expressing your anger. So if you do that, you're a bully. Now, next is called instructor angry driving profile. This is where you see somebody go through a light, you weren't in danger, they didn't endanger anybody else, but they broke the law. And you have people who are instructor, they feel it's their job to teach that person a lesson. They catch up side of them. They say, you idiot, you went through that light. They flip them off, or they follow them, or they stalk them and say, you idiot, you went through that light. They feel it's their job to teach that person a lesson, even though it wasn't endangering to them or anybody else. So that's an instructor angry driving profile. So number one, I have 4 questions there, rating from 0 to 5. When I see someone go through a red light, I try to catch up to them and yell at them, or flip them off, or beat my horn, or flick my headlights up and down to teach them a lesson of what they did. And it's very intimidating. This is happening. You may not even know what you did. A lot of times, I'm sure you've had it happen to you. Someone's angry and you're not sure. I've had it happen to me. I didn't know what I did. You didn't know what you did even. Number 4, and this is the last one, when I see a car in the diamond lane with only the driver and no more passengers, I yell at them, or flip them off, or beat my horn, or flick my headlights up and down. So those would be examples, and then have people rate that. Now here's one. Impatient angry driving profile. Someone's slowing you down. You're behind them. They're just going slow, and you're stuck behind them. And you get really impatient. You start showing anger, flipping them off, putting your headlights up and down. Tailgate them. So you're number 1 in this one to rate from 0 to 5. But I get angry when drivers in front of me are going too slowly. That would be number 1. Number 5, when drivers in front of me are going too slowly, I will hit the rear bumper. And that's really, then you're bordering on road rage. The last one, angry driving profile, is not being a bully. These are all being a bully. If you do any of those, which over half of you do, you're a bully. You're an angry driving bully, or a road rage bully in more extreme cases. So this is where others anger at me, angry driving profile. So somebody's going alongside of you, they're angry about something, they flip you off or beep their horn at you and they're angry. So you didn't initiate it, and then you get angry in return, which is not smart, but it doesn't make you a bully because you didn't initiate the hostilities. It makes you an angry driver. It might even make you a road rage if you're a felonious angry driver, but he's not. I wouldn't call you a bully because you didn't initiate it. So here would be 6 questions rated from 0 to 5. The first one is, I get angry when others on their own or on the road are annoyed or angry at me, and I react by expressing anger at them. And number 6, if others express anger at me, I will stalk them and confront them or hit them when they stop. And you have people doing that. They follow the person's going to get gas at the gas station, actually pull up, get out, pull a person out of the car, hit them, or they're at a stop sign, they stop the car, they grab that person. You have people doing that. So, but if you have that others anger at me, angry driving profile, you're less inclined to be called a bully because you didn't initiate it. But certainly, if you take it to a certain point, you become a bully, especially if you're someone. Well, if someone initiates to you and you're responding and you're overreacting to it, there's a bullying dimension to that. But if you just do it in like kind back, I wouldn't call you a bully. I'd call you an angry driver then. So those are the causes, and I've now described to you over half of you, no matter what race, religion, age, socioeconomics, over half of you are a bully on the roads, creating a dangerous environment on the roads. Anytime any of us in Southern California go on the roads, there's often some carnage on the side, tow trucks there, sometimes, God forbid, dead bodies, people doing things. And the aggressive driving, it was the main cause. Two-thirds of all the deaths on the road, of all the collisions, is due to aggressive driving. NHTSA came up with that, 2/3. So now the cure. If you tell people this is not being a good citizen or you're endangering people, it's not going to have much effect. If you tell them you can have a lawsuit if someone gets killed, you have a little effect. If you tell them you put your children at risk for becoming an angry driver, more effect. But maybe that'll count maybe 3 or 4% of people say, I want to overcome it. But I found a way to get every single person to say, I want to overcome my problem. And they'll not say, I don't want to do it anymore. 100%, which is one of the things I promised at the beginning of my seminars. I was an associate adjunct professor at San Diego State University. We had a grant from California, and I was going around to all the major corporations, and I presented to the Army, I presented to judges, I presented to UPS, Qualcomm, Nissan, Mitsubishi. I would be presenting these seminars. I say to everybody, I say to you listening now, how many of you want to give control over your emotions, your anger, to those people you're calling idiots? How many of you want to give that? Nobody. I'm sure none of you are raising your hand. None of you. Nobody wants to turn control. It's like saying, I'm putting a sign on top of your car saying, I don't care what race or nationality or age or religion you are, I'll let any one of you make me into a raving lunatic. How many of you want to give that control to the people you're calling an idiot? I know none of you raising your hand. Nobody ever raised their hand. How many of you want to keep that control for yourself? 100% of the people say, I want to keep that control for myself. So here's now what I call one of the laws of honor. I refuse to allow you to control my anger ever. I refuse to allow you to control my anger ever. I have people say that once an hour for 3 weeks and you'll be cured. Now the other approach, in addition, not instead of, but in addition to that, is saying I will put honor before anger. Honor before anger. Honor as defined by loyalty to your highest constructive value as embodied in what I call the 4 commandments of honor, which is I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. And one of two, either I seek always to serve my highest values, or God, your wish is my only wish. Then I have people take the pledge, where they say, as a disciple of honor, I pledge myself for all the days of my life to the 4 commandments of honor, and I'll teach them to those I love. I'll repeat them every morning, afternoon, and evening, and listen to myself recite them. I say, welcome to the brotherhood, welcome to sisterhood. Now you have a lifetime commitment to the way of honor. And then we have the bridge from honor to reality, which is, if you say the commandments, you say the bridge. What's the most honorable thing for me to think, say, and do in this situation? What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do in this situation? So as a person who incorporates honor in their lives, it's going to affect their day-to-day life, and it'll affect the driving as well. Somebody cuts you off, you say, hey, I refuse to allow you to control my anger ever, and I wish you well. So you can throw that 1 commandment right behind it. Total cure. If you really take honor into your life, as I've just told you, with the 4 commandments of honor and the bridge, and you're using what I call one of the laws of honor, which is I refuse to allow you to control my anger ever, you're cured. No doubt about it. So ultimately you're putting honor before anger. Honor before anger, and that's key. It's been my privilege to be able to present to you, are you an angry driver bully? Are you an angry driver bully?